So are we saying that if more masculine men who are family oriented held a boot camp for a majority of black men, let's say in the black community, and we did it military style to where beat the we beat all of the simp behavior, the sucker behavior out, made these men men who not only knew how to command respect but speak respectfully, give respect to a woman. Therefore, it's genuine and all of that. And then we brought all most of the black women in the black community who are marriageable to them. Are you saying that these women would comply with these men in the home?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I
Without
disagree.
question. Without question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That they're equivalent is what I'm saying. So if you can't attract, I'm just using the point scale just for the sake of, if you can only attract women that are 5, a 9 may not. If she's not attracted to you, act that way. But you're equivalent. So you're 5 with a 5, or 5 with a 6, or a 6 with a 5. That will absolutely happen that way.
Yeah, let me tell you why. It's not a negative thing. It's not me trying to be funny. Let me tell you why I have this. I really think the upbringing too much time has passed. I think if we catch somebody before the age of 10 years old, maybe at this point, maybe we can save them. I think for grown women, too much time has passed, because what I've seen now is women that are well put together, meaning they have the ability to comply with somebody that's paying them. Maybe that's pretty much it. They have to be extracting a benefit from that person to just do the bare minimum as far as compliance is concerned.
Well,
So,
yeah,
Sugar Mike, I got a perfect, and that, like, so I got like, where I'm from, it's an active area, right, on the crime scale. I got a lot of guys I know who get the respect that men want to garner from women who don't have the money. Like, they might have just came home, did 10 years, came home, and they don't have nothing. They starting over with a factory job, and those women respect them and love them the same. But we move in a similar manner, right? We're respecting everybody and demanding respect without pushing the line on nobody for no reason. They violent, but they not ultra violent where they just attacking people. It's collected, like it's targeted if they need to, but they not just rah. They real cool, calm, and collected, and they just move in a way where you like, that man is gonna respect me, but I don't really want to try him because I think he's gonna get active on me. Those men without money, without height, without any of these other things, get that same level of interaction that I would get for my equivalent partner. I'll be watching that shit like, I wish I could, like, I might try and do that one day. And even some of the men that don't deserve it, that be real fuck ups, they be getting that same thing.
There's a bunch of
I think it can work in a cultural sense, meaning if those women grew up respecting those men because their daddies did those jobs too, I think it can work in that sense. But just the way, like dating and the way things work now, I think it cultivates a level of disrespect. That's why we have this hierarchy. If you don't make this, or you know what I mean, like I think that's what it is. But
so I want to address this, right? Because I've had this conversation before, but not on a public platform. These standards that these women have, the 666, the high value man, however you want to state it, it doesn't matter, right? This came from a situation of like the conversation around there's no good men left, dudes ain't ish, all of this stuff, right? That if I'm going to be with a man, then I'm going to get something out of it. But in a culture where most women are not married, the majority of women are in relationships where they're unhappy, the majority of women are in relationships where they're being cheated on, the real flex, the real benefit is a happy marriage. The majority of women will compromise all of their standards if a man can give them that. The issue is the amount of men that have that ability have now dwindled, right? So I think this idea of boot camp, I think you and Marcus need to get together and make this happen. I think y'all would just change the entire spectrum of the world, right? Because here's the thing, right? If rich men are being left, if tall men are being left, if short men are being left, if broke men are being left, you were saying, Trigger Mike, that all these different men are being left, right? It's not about happiness. It's about like respectability. If we can come together and get men to be more firm, right?
Yeah.
Be more masculine. And again, toxic masculinity is a totally different conversation. I mean, if we can bring masculinity back, I think we would bring marriage back. I think we would bring back the trend of more compliant women, of softer women. A lot of
Yeah.
this hardness of education and career and all of this stuff is coming from a place of insecurity where there is not trust for a man to handle those situations, right? If we can bring back the men that are able to take control and to
Yeah.
produce the things that they say they're going to do, I
Mhm.
think we'd have a totally different landscape on what society looks like.
So I don't disagree. And then let me, I know MRM, let me just say this and I'm going to pass it over to you. I don't disagree. I just think the women, most of the women that are old enough to be married right now they can't benefit from that. They can't. I think that because you said they will compromise most of what they say their standards are for a happy marriage, but I think that's also the issue. Marriage either wasn't modeled for them or they haven't positioned themselves correctly to serve in a marriage. I do not think most women are the service type of woman. We've already created a culture for them to be selfish without any consequence. So I don't think a woman can turn the corner on that and say, well, I don't want to be selfish anymore. And this is a question I didn't get to ask on my show earlier because it even has to do with sex. Do we believe that most women in our society now get pleasure from pleasing men? No, less than 10%. Those are the type of women that are wives, in my opinion. A woman that literally is happy because she pleased you. I haven't seen one in a very long time. And those are the ones that I'm saying will give up a part. Like those are the women that will give it everything up, turn the corner to get married, to be in a happy marriage. And I think there are very few of them.
So here's the thing,
let
right?
me say this, Trigger Mike. That sounds real good, but good women are sometimes being played the most in dating game. Those good women, they're being played. They're not. It's no chase, like the fun part of it. They're not that woman. They're being played the most in the dating.
All right, let me just ask you though. Let me just ask you: are they being played because of their own decisions in men, or are they making the right decisions, or they're being
well,
put together with men that
an
are well
honest
vetted,
game.
and those men are playing them?
They're playing an honest game with dishonest people, and unfortunately, we live in a society now where a lot of people are dishonest.
Yeah, but I also think women don't protect themselves from that well enough. So
I agree.
I've noticed the good woman getting messed over is usually because of her freedom of choice. We live in a society now where nobody wants to say it, but you want to see things get better for women on the marriage front, take away the ability to choose for themselves, or at least and that's really what it is. Any man, if you be like, oh, you like me, oh, you want to have sex with me, well, shit, I'm going home. You can come to this barbecue and meet my daddy. Yeah, once we start doing that again, we'll have less of this heartbreak going around.